So why is it that people think all of the explanations for the heliocentric model are ridiculous? I don't understand it. Now there's some things that are a little bit more complex and not so straightforward. For example, finding the distance to the sun, finding the diameter of the sun, uh, maybe orbital mechanics, gravity, the atmosphere. But you know what? These aren't like simple Yahoo answers. This isn't something. It's like a one uh, sentence answer. These are things that have taken centuries, millennia to find out and to perfect. This isn't like where babies come from. But a lot of questions with the heliocentric model are easily answered. The shape of the Earth is one, and I mean we can go into this all day. But this is what it just baffles me that it's the slogan that we always say: "Math is hard, thus Earth is flat." It's like because you can't have a better explanation, so I'm gonna take the easy way out. I would rather watch a 2 hour long video made by a yoga instructor with a monotonous nasally voice, and that is more convincing than a 200-page textbook. I mean, it's taking the easy way out. It's intellectual laziness. Just because you don't know the answer, and like I said, that first answer doesn't make sense, that doesn't mean you should give up. All right. I had to get that off my chest. I feel better now.
I do too. For instance, one example, the atom. They tell you there are three things: the neutron, the proton, and the electron. But they don't understand. There are three things, but they don't understand what those three things are because they're giving it a particle, whereas there are no particles.
Yeah.
You see, so yeah. So, but you can salvage it because more or less they're aiming at in the right direction. It's just that they're never really allowed to uh, explain things completely truthfully. They're just not allowed to because then we just wake up so quickly. So look,
See, he straight up admits that he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. You know what? With like quantum physics and talking with stuff on like the particle level, it's actually not that complicated. And even with like the even more modern models of the atom, it's actually almost even simpler. But if you stop at that first paragraph and just say, "I don't understand," or "This doesn't make sense," and when you compare something like the model of the quantum reality, yeah, none of that makes sense. And scientists will even be the first to say it doesn't make sense. But you know what? In reality, in our macro level reality, we don't live, we don't need to concern ourselves with that because I see the argument like in the comments that people will make, explain quantum entanglement or explain I can't think of them, but they quantum gravity on the quantum level and this and that, and it has nothing to do with the heliocentric model. It's a red herring. It's because we don't understand quantum entanglement means we can't possibly understand the heliocentric reality we live in. It's bull. That is bull. They have nothing to do with each other. And I tell you what, the first scientist that is able to merge the macro level and the quantum level in any kind of theory is winning that Nobel Prize. And he will be up there with Einstein. And Einstein was on his deathbed trying to figure this out. The quantum level and the macro level. Macro meaning large. And it's funny, he just says, "I don't understand. I don't understand." Oh, shoot. He said, "I don't understand. I give up." It's, man.
that was really, really well done. I'm glad you recorded it because I think you should put this up straight away. Give people this. This will give many people a lot of aha moments. All kinds of people. I think it'll give people like the concave earthers something to think about.
Yeah.
Even the square, diamond, rectangular earthers. It's really, really going to give them a lot of inspiration. Now, I do have difficulty with one thing, Venus.
Okay, so let's take a second here. Let's look at all the things he got. Whoa, what was that? Did I hold on a second? I think I messed something up. Huh.
Hard work is good.
Before I continue, I also just want to...
Okay, I think that was just something with the editing. It was fine. Sorry.
and say thank you. Yeah, the floor's...
Thanks, Martin. I really appreciate that. It's good to see that my hard work has gone to to this outcome. It's great to see the influence that it has.
Okay,
well,
I
what
just
was thinking
downloaded
of
this.
with your model.
I just downloaded this and fixed the audio, so I didn't do any kind of editing. So this is from the website that I got this from, and so I'm not exactly sure what that was, that glitch. Well, anyway, we'll take a break here for just a quick second. Some things that I should have taken some notes. You know what? I'm going to take some notes right here, and then I'll come back.
Was that Venus should go on the inside of the sun, or where Mercury is, I'm thinking, because they are considered to be personal planets in astrology. You got to take a lot of astrology into account.
No, you don't.
So I'm thinking astrologically here, and also the Ptolemaic model. Okay, so Ptolemy clearly says that there's 10 concentric spheres. Prima mobile is the first, then the crystalline sea, then the firmament, then time begins. Chronos, and then he has a sun. Space begins. Jupiter, Mr. Expansion. Then Mars, action. Then the sun, Venus, Mercury, and the moon is the last sphere. So Venus, Mercury, and Moon have always been considered to be subsolar. I think that's the expression. I don't think that's the right expression.
No, it's not.
But anyway, I'm trying to think of... It'll come to me.
That's okay. They make up their own words. Oh, yeah. He's busting out the dry erase board.
The Earth, and we've got... so, Moon is always first, then Mercury, then Venus. And these planets are considered to be what's called... the word just won't come. So
It's tough to remember the words you make up, because you're making them up. So it's kind of like you have to keep your lies straight.
we've got the sun here. Then we've got Mars, Jupiter, then Saturn. Okay, so I can see what you're doing with the moon. It's in with the sun in the second sort of Taurus. You've got them nested. You've got like nested 4 or 5 nested Taurus fields. Okay, isn't that right? 4 or 5.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so I would say you put the sun in the second one, yeah.
Yep.
And you put Mars and Venus in the third one.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
And
Venus.
Mercury on the inner one, the one at the center, inside us.
Yeah. And you've got rightfully Saturn and Jupiter up here. Now Saturn is 29.5 years in orbit. Moon is 29. Well, actually, let me be more specific because this is very interesting. 29.49,
It is. This is interesting.
I believe it is. Got to check that one. Again, I'm going late and I'm tired. 29.49, whatever that number is, this is exactly a harmonic of it, or a fractal of it. Okay, now
A fractal of it. He doesn't even know what a fractal is. And that wouldn't be harmonic either. What's he? I think he's trying to think of as a resonance. And yeah, the sun and moon are not in resonance of each other.
days. So the Saturn and Moon thing, that's very interesting. I'll get back to that. But then you put the first vortex or nested torus field,
Vortex.
and you put that at the center of the Mount Meru, sort of around the center part of the Earth, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, well, I think that's a problem because Venus's orbit
Yeah, I think it's a problem too.
is 225 days, okay?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Whereas Mars is 7 days, which is just under 2 years. Jupiter's 12 years, of course. And the Sun, of course, is the 1 year, right?
Yeah.
So it's expressive of sort of a golden ratio,
No, it is not.
sacred geometric.
No, no, it's not.
Ratio of these planets, right? Order.
Wrong.
Order. So obviously the moon goes up here with the sun, yeah? First of all,
Okay, let me explain something because, hopefully, there's some, young, like pre-high school kids that might eventually one day watch my videos. What he wishes he understood is resonance, and essentially what it means is for every orbit that the Earth makes around the sun, Mars would make 2. And then Jupiter, I'm not exactly sure the exact ratio, but I think Jupiter makes 4. And then Saturn, I should have done, okay, anyway, not the point. But, so what happened over billions of years, the solar system did not form with 9 planets or 8 planets, whatever you want to say. It formed with a few hundred planets, at least 200 planets. And these planets all went around the sun. And some went the other way, some went this way. And through, perhaps a billion years, I don't have an exact time frame. It might have been 100 million, so don't quote me or anything like that. You can look this up. Over that long period of time, there were multiple collisions. There were planets being thrown out, and all we have left are these 8 planets that we know today. And there might be a possible 9th one, not Pluto, but another planet. They're on the heels of it. I think it's out there. So they achieved, as he says, it's like you could say harmonic, because it is. It's very similar to like the keys on a piano, if you're familiar with the frequencies of different notes and stuff. And so in that respect, it is kind of harmonic. But this happened over millions of years, that these planets kind of got in sync with each other. Like I said, like Earth orbits once and then Mars orbits twice. And this happened gradually, and they created this nice pattern, so it's for stability, because otherwise we would have planets still being thrown out, we would have more meteor showers as, the gravitational tugs of different planets interact with each other, and they'll pull comets and stuff out of the Oort cloud, and fling it towards the inner solar system. So I just want to clarify that. So he's trying to think of this stuff, and it's kind of hard when to come up with an explanation when you're just making crap up.
We get Venus transits, Mercury transits, and Moon transits,
Right.
called eclipses.
Uh-huh.
So Moon transits are called eclipses, but they are transits because the eclipses can only happen near the nodes, the north node and the south node. So they are eclipses. They are transits. It's a transit.
You're
the
a
moon
transit.
is passing either in front of the sun or behind the sun, and the north node is there. But three things have to come together: either Rahu and Ketu,
Oh boy.
or as we call them in Western system,
Rahu and Ketu.
north node and south node. They are always there, present within 4 degrees of the sun and the moon, either or, whether it's a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, time and time again, consistently, invariably, always. So with Mercury, we can see the transits of Mercury, and they always happen in Taurus, in the middle of May in Taurus, and opposite in the middle of Scorpio, around about November 11th. So May 8th, 9th, 10th, November 8th, 9th, 10th, directly opposite. And the Venus transits happen in Gemini and opposite Sagittarius. So December 10th and Gemini, and June, say, 10th. June the 10th.
I don't know if
9th,
that's true or not.
In 2012 and 2005, Venus, both transits were in Gemini, okay, around the 5th of June to the 8th of June. So, the big boys,
Mars is a
we
big
don't
boy.
see these transits.
Because
So
they're outside
you
our
see how
orbit.
these guys definitely, Mars belongs to that sphere, and Jupiter and Saturn belong to this fourth nested vortex, or
Okay, look at this. Look at this hogwash. Okay. This is supposed to be, I guess, Mercury, Venus. Is this the Sun? And then Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Oh boy. Hey, another little quick tip. If you want to figure out the approximate distance to the planets, it's very easy. At least from the distance from the sun. If you start with Earth being, you'll say 99, just as approximation. You say Earth is 99 million miles away. It's really 93, but just call it 99. Venus and Mars are both a third closer. So Earth would be, just for this example, 99 million miles away. Venus would be 66 million miles away, and Mercury would be 33 million miles away from the sun. And then Mars would be another third away. So Mars would be 133, just approximately. And then after Mars, you double it, you double that distance, and then you get Jupiter. And then you double that distance again, you get the distance to Saturn. You double that distance again, and you get Uranus. And then one more time, double it again, meaning Saturn is twice as far away from the sun as Jupiter. Uranus is twice as far away from the sun as Saturn, and Neptune is twice as far away from the sun as Uranus. Now, these are just approximations, but this has worked out over millions or a billion years, and they have achieved this this pattern, this equilibrium. So this keeps everything nice and stable. And in 19 when did they do the Grand Tour project? Want to say 72, might be 74. But anyway, the Grand Tour project is when they sent the Voyager satellites, to swing by all the planets, all the outer planets at once. They were able to do this because they all happened to line up at one time in, I think it's 300 years. It might be 175, something like that, but it's definitely close to 2 centuries. We had that alignment, that very rare alignment. Okay, so like you can kind of play with that. Check out the actual distances of each planet from the sun, and you'll see how it doubles, like I just mentioned, and it's pretty incredible. So you can kind of come up with a rough approximation. Each planet is the distance each planet is from the sun, and it's kind of useful.
Or there could be just straight out 7 of them, and
Yeah, vortex.
and
Well, this is why, Santos, I was saying on my mod. This is why I was saying that perhaps the suns, or what I call the sun, Saturn, Mars, Apollo, they follow. They run along the actual vortex.
Sure.
Whereas the moons,
Sure,
they are in between. They're in an imaginary, on an imaginary path. They're not on the actual.
It's called an orbit, dude. The imaginary path is called an orbit.
They're in between.
No.
So if we were to conjunct them, right? I don't know if it's on me at the moment, the screen.
yeah, I can. Yes, it is. I can see you.
Okay. So if we were to conjunct all these planets with Polaris, like that, yeah, they would fold into each other.
Funny how Polaris is north of the plane, the orbital plane of the Earth, and all the planets, they all orbit this way around the sun. All the planets that's on the orbital plane, and Polaris is, of course, north of this orbital plane. So there is no conjunction of the planets with Polaris ever. Not even close, dude. Not even close. Hey, he's trying though, man. Babyface is trying.
All the different planets. So then you'd have Mercury, Moon, Sun, or Mercury, Moon, Venus. So maybe Venus on its path is actually below the zenith of where the sun would be at its zenith, at its peak, if everything is conjunct.
Hi, Barry.
If everything was conjunct there, it would be Mercury, Moon, then Venus, then the sun above it at the top.
What the hell?
And
Where
then
does
you'd
he
have
get
Mars,
this?
Jupiter, and Saturn.
So
these ones are following that line, whereas these ones are actually in between. They're not actually following the line. They're in between the line. They're on an imaginary eclipse,
eclipse. Ellipse,
said that
dude.
the suns
Ellipse.
and the moons behave differently.
It's a freaking orbit.
The suns are following that actual ecliptic path on the torus fields, and the moons are in the imaginary one. So there's an actual another toroidal field that is maybe not as physical. It's more, it's transparent. That they follow. So if they're all conjunct along the axis, and the sun is at its zenith, then and if you pull the moon in to where the axis is, the moon would fall slightly underneath the sun.
Wow.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yep, I get you.
Oh, he gets it. That's good because we sure the hell don't.
Yeah. What is the reasoning for having Venus outside of the sun? How do you?
Only because I'm trying to understand if Venus was within our toroidal field, surely we should be able to see her more clearly as we see our sun and moon. The reason why we see our sun and moon so clearly is because they're within our toroidal field. So I would imagine that anything outside is why we see them as shimmering luminaries because we're seeing them beyond our torus field. It's being obstructed by the toroidal field. That's why they look
shimmering
like
luminaries.
they're shimmering in water, those suns and moons. It's because of that. So I'm trying to understand if Venus was within our...
Hey, I gotta interrupt here. So when you're in the comment section and you see someone mention some crap about the firmament, ask them how the water sticks to the outside of the firmament. I just started doing this. I get some hilarious responses, and someone actually made a 1 hour response to all my questions. He had like 2 videos on his channel. He actually made a response trying to explain it. Of course it's all biblical stuff, and I really don't care to watch it, but it is funny that someone actually made a video and all my responses about the firmament. Oh, hey, if you want to laugh about the firmament, come on over to PoE's channel. We'll do it all night long.
Toroidal field, surely we should see a lot clearly, the same as we see our sun and moon. And if she is, and we don't, then why don't we?
Because
if
he's just made it up.
Within our toroidal field, if she's within our atmospheres, the thermosphere or mesosphere or wherever, surely we should be able to see a bit more clearly.
You should.
More often.
Yep. I hear that. I'm just, being an astrologer, I see Venus and Mercury are always near the sun. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Okay. All right, these are some famous people I've got here. Let me see if I remember who. Oh yeah, I know who this one is. Marlon Brando. Okay, Arian.
So this dude is an astrologer, a freaking astrologer, a flat earth astrologer. How nice is that?
I'm not going to do his I'm just, I will one day. That's why I got these made. But you see Venus and Mercury.
Yep.
And there's the sun. They're always near the sun. Okay.
Okay.
So Mercury can never be more than 28 degrees away from the sun. So he's always, it can only be in the sign of the sun, which in this case he's not, is in the 28th degree of Pisces, and the sun is in the 12th degree of Aries. So they're still only 14 degrees apart from each other. That Mercury can only be another 14 degrees further away from the sun. Venus, 48, okay? So let's have a look at another chart.
Oh, please. We like charts.
Who we got here? Elvis Presley.
Oh,
There's
is science.
Sun, there's Mercury, there's Venus.
Science.
Again, they're always near. And look, and all the other planets, Mars is way over here, Jupiter. All right, so let's have a look at another one. Who is it? Oh, yeah, this one is...
Okay. If you're going to do astrology all freaking night, we're going to... Yeah. Okay. Look at him scratching his chin like, he's like, oh man, this is deep. And it's funny how when Babyface here just creates this crazy ass word solid, and he's like, oh, I don't know if you understand me. The Mr. Astrologer Santos is just like, oh yeah, I understand you perfectly. They must be doing the same drugs.
On its azimuth.
Yep.
You see, what's happened is you've got Mercury will come along like this. Well, I'll have to go slower. Sorry. So you've got Sun.
Yep.
Going, and then Mercury will be doing this. Retrograding. Retrogressing. And then Venus will be doing more like this.
His face lights up.
Yep. Venus will be going like this. Retrogressing. So they're always, so you've got Sun and Mercury will always be there, 28 degrees. Venus will always be 48. Now, that's why you've got the transits. See, so this is why Venus really has to be this side of the sun, inside the sun from our perspective.
Inside the sun.
So is it possible that maybe Venus and the sun...
Whatever you're going to say, the answer is no. It is completely impossible, whatever you're thinking. Now you're trying to say Venus is inside the sun. What the hell does that even mean, dude? Come on. Look at them.
Are both orbiting along our Taurus field, in our Taurus field. Because it still doesn't explain why we don't see Venus as clearly as we should.
What do you mean? Why? What does he mean we don't see Venus as clearly as... Is he using a P900 autofocus? Probably. That's my guess. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Because now what I'm seeing by what you've just said, you've just clarified something for me there.
Oh, yeah?
No, we'll see. I don't...
When you show that movement of Mercury that Mercury makes, that's because Mercury at the center, obviously, has got a shorter circuit to make.
Obviously.
Okay, so Mercury's circuit is much shorter. Hence, you'd see that movement that you're talking about, that retrograde movement. Because, you know, Mercury's circuit is so much shorter than any of the other rings because it's the smallest toroidal field. Okay, it's the smallest circuit. And the moon, if the moon is just here in between, so let's say the sun is here on this toroidal field, right? I'm putting the moon literally just after the sun. I mean, Venus just after the sun, literally just behind. And maybe she's moving at a similar speed to the sun, or, you know, picking up and dropping off with the sun. So maybe Venus, she follows the sun quite closely as she orbits around her imaginary orbit, just after our toroidal field. Not as far as Mars, who's actually on the chariot of the toroidal field on the outside. So Mars is further, whereas Venus is closer to our toroidal field than the outer toroidal field.
Oh boy, long pause. Long, uncomfortable silence.
That's how I'm... So when you were showing those movements, I saw that straight away. And that was an aha moment for me.
I know. If he saw the look on his face, it looked like a little kid who just opened a Super Nintendo on his, or whatever you guys play these days, Xbox on Christmas Day.
Because if you look at it from this perspective, right? You've got Mars, who's pretty much running along.
It hurts my brain too, guys.
Field, the outer one, okay? We've got the sun on our toroidal field, and Venus would be close to the sun. If the sun is here, Venus is just behind the sun, closer to our Van Allen belt than the outer one.
Oh, hear that? Venus is in the Van Allen belt now. Cool. Should go visit. It's not that far, man. Shoot, we should be able to get some nice shots from the ISS of the Venusian cloud tops. You think? Why don't we have these photos? Is it a conspiracy? Who knows? Stay tuned to find out.
And then you've got Mercury at the center, obviously because she's at the center and her or his orbit is
you
much
don't know, dude. You have no freaking
smaller.
clue.
Naturally, she would look like she's following the sun more because there's less of a gradient for them to make up.
A gradient? He has a reading level of a 4-year-old.
Yep.
He's looking for approval. Daddy, did I do good? I do good, Daddy?
I'm not sure. I'm
not sure either, dude.
To sort of draw it all out and think about it.
Yeah, I think he is making up as he goes.
It's possible. I mean, no one has ever been able to nut out the heavens perfectly.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're talking about it, So, but you have to thrash it out.
Yeah.
And put it on the drawing board properly. See, if the sun is doing daily circles, then that year
Yeah,
It's
it
not
makes
actually
sense. It
one
makes sense.
loop. It's 365 loops.
Yeah.
How it would work.
He's like a mad professor. Oh, he's gonna bust it out. This better be good, man.
So
Don't let us
you'd
down.
have the North Pole, and you'd have, say, Earth is like that.
Look at that. Look at that. You see the little hamster in his head running?
All right, so there's a North Pole. I was supposed to do it. No, I didn't want to do it this way. Anyway.
That's as loud as it goes, guys. Sorry.
So this is Cancer.
Yeah, he got cancer in the brain.
Equator.
Did you say equator?
And Capricorn, yeah?
What the
Uh-huh.
Look at his face.
Yep.
And of course we've got Antarctica out here.
Uh-huh.
He's learning. This is research,
Okay,
guys.
so now from the side, of course, what we're dealing with is if that's the Earth, and this is the North Pole in the center,
Uh-huh.
and the Sun will be doing something like that at Cancer,
Yep.
and something like this Capricorn,
Uh-huh.
and then something like this at the equator.
Yes.
So you've got ramping up and down of the Sun.
Hey, Babyface, it's my job to go, yeah. Don't be taking my job. I will go over to freaking London and yank you out of your little flat earth bed.
Yep.
No.
But the Sun is doing 365 of these.
Uh-huh.
No.
So Venus, so the point is Venus.
Come on. He's fishing.
Okay.
He's fishing.
So
come on. Little hamster work. You know what? We're going to go and skip ahead while he figures out what the hell's going on here. We're going to wait for him to... Okay, it looks like he's drawing some continents there. Ooh, that looked interesting. Hold on.
Mercury's transit in there.
but Mercury is here. Sun is out here. Moon is also here too, yeah? The limit of the Sun, yeah? The limit of the Sun does not go out here. So if that's the Tropic of Capricorn and you're over here in Melbourne, and they say that the Sun is rising south of east, right? So it's rising even more than the Tropic of Capricorn and the equator, which will be somewhere out here, actually. So that's what they're saying about that. But I mean, we're talking about
a bunch of stuff you just made up.
Electromagnetic phenomena in the fourth dimension.
Yes, there we go. There's the woo. Everyone get on your woo hats. It's the only way we're going to understand that. Yep, I agree with you, Shane.
We've got, it's like the Sun is a personal objective projection.
Oh, I think he just said the Sun is a personal projection. Uh-oh. That's in another video that I'm planning, so I don't want to ruin anything for you.
That is operating in laws that we can't really comprehend.
See, when you start as the flat earth as your baseline to build a reality upon, yeah, things get really confusing really quick. And the only thing you can do is throw stones at the people who make sense.
For a start, because, I mean, even the quantum physicists, there's nothing that...
Did it again. He freaking did it again. Quantum physics have nothing to do with the macro level of the heliocentric model. Freaking red herring. Try again, buddy. Try again, man.
They can tell you that conclusively that is a scientific fact, because they're also telling you always that they're theorizing, aren't they?
Shut the hell up. What the hell are they doing? What the hell are they doing? I don't see any freaking mathematical formulas, any algorithms on that freaking dry erase board. If they're theorizing, what the hell are you doing? That's just freaking conjecture. That's all it is. It's a bunch of freaking drug-induced conjecture. You know what? They don't even have the freaking excuse for drugs because they're sober. They're freaking sober. This dude didn't even know what the Star of the Bethlehem was and trying to tell us it was Polaris. Come on. You'd even mention the fact of the freaking Southern Hemisphere star field, and you're going to tell the scientific community that they're doing nothing but theorizing? What the hell are you doing?
They have never concluded anything. I mean, Copernicus was theorizing about his revolution. He says, look, please don't take this as absolute fact. It's only useful for explaining certain phenomena, you know, which means from one...
Hold on, I missed that.
Fact. It's only useful. Copernicus was theorizing about his revolution. He says, look, please don't take this as absolute fact. It's only useful for explaining certain phenomena.
And what was that phenomenon?
You know, which means from one, explaining the relationship between two observed movements in the heavens, for instance, right? So it explains that. He says it's useful for that, but it's not a true model. Same with Newton. Newton was always stressing that it's hypothetical what he's doing and the hypothesis. And
see, freaking Copernicus, he was one of the first, probably the first modern astronomer. He was the first guy to say, hey guys, you know, the retrograde of the planets, it doesn't make any sense with the geocentric model. And he's like, you know what? All you gotta do is put the freaking sun in the center of the solar system and bam, it works. So yeah, it is a model and it worked. And the fact that his model explained things better than at the time the geocentric model, yeah, his model was better. And he proved the one thing he just said. Copernicus explained the retrograde motion of the planets, and it made sense. There was no need for this gyration of the planets, because that's what they do in the geocentric model, where Earth is in the center. The planets, they go around this little freaking spiral, which makes absolutely no sense. And all you gotta do is put the sun in the center, and boom, things go around in circles. So simple. But you know what? Hey, he just theorized, and it just explained one thing. You know what? That one thing was huge.
The theory and what if, you know, so, but, okay, well, let's get back to this then. So we've got three objects here. Mercury, always inside the tropics. He never comes out to the tropics, yeah?
Yep.
I don't know what
never
that
comes
means.
From there to there.
No.
Okay, so Mercury's always around here. And then you've got Sun and Moon. This makes sense. This makes sense. This makes sense. Okay?
It makes sense, dude.
But to have Venus out here with Mars in the third Taurus field,
we call that derp.
Nested. Did you say there were 4 or 5? Sorry.
There are 4 inner ones. What I was saying was that if that is our Taurus field, okay, and the sun is either on it or just inside the Taurus field and running along it on the spiral, like that, which is why we see the sun, because it's just inside or it's on it. I'm saying Venus would be just on the other side, touching it. They're pretty much almost touching, just divided by the Taurus field. So they're quite close to one another. Okay? And then the next Taurus field is here, and this is where Mars would be. out here on the next toroidal field. So technically, Venus and Mars are in the same jurisdiction, Sun and Moon, but Venus is very close to Apollo. They're almost following the same path. They're always together because they're just on the other side of our toroidal field, and the Sun is just on the other side. That's the affair that Apollo and Aphrodite are having in Greek mythology.
Okay, so the scientific community can't bring up theories and models to explain reality, but he sure the hell can put together some mythical wedding, that explains, geez, they have some freaking nerve. He has some nerve.
And Mars was jealous.
Jesus Christ. Are we supposed to be drinking or something, or is there something to make this medicine go down better? Because this is lunacy.
Of Aphrodite having an affair with Apollo. That's because they follow the same path. When in actual fact, Mars and Aphrodite should be together because they're the sun and moon of these outer lands together. That's how I've reconciled it.
Okay. So you got it all figured out. You got the wedding invitations?
Yeah, I like that. I mean...
until I see a wedding invitation of, something from 4 million BC, a wedding invitation of Aphrodite and Apollo, I'm not buying this wedding. I'm not buying these arranged marriages or whatever the heck they come up with. You need to show me some evidence.
That's lovely.
It's lovely.
For me, I have to astrologically see how that works, So,
that's important. The astrology.
Yeah, of course we know with the heliocentric model, the year orbit of the sun, they say it's the Earth, of course, orbiting around the sun. So there is a one revolution.
Oh boy, here we go.
Even though they say the Earth is rotating 24 hours, so 365 rotations around the Earth goes orbiting around the sun. So there is a one, one revolution there.
Solar year.
Whereas we're dealing with, June.
Yep.
Yeah.
September.
I'm lost.
December,
I have no idea.
And then it winds back in.
Yep.
So the sun's torus field is like a breathing, expanding, compressing from tropic to tropic. So
wow.
So knowing this, it's easier to fit Venus into that outer ring.
Yeah.
With Mars, because now we see that Venus is also,
of course,
going around.
Sure.
Daily, along with the sun, has to be.
Absolutely.
So, so this 225 year a day other cycle that's going on, which we call an orbit of Venus, which it is not an orbit of Venus.
Yeah.
What the hell's an orbit of Venus?
That must have to do with, it just has to do with where Venus...
See, look at this vein right here. This is the vein that supplies the oxygen to that little hamsters inside his head. And you can kind of see, it's not moving.
It goes from evening to morning star. It's just, which has to retrogress.
Yeah.
Retrogress, okay.
So she advances in front of the sun 48 degrees when she's direct. Then she retrogresses and she's behind the sun 48 degrees. Then she's going direct again. And then she'll be advancing in front of the sun 48 degrees. Then she'll go stationary. Then she has to
Where did they get this 48 degrees? That's huge. That's freaking massive. What is this 48 degrees? Man, I guess I should have... No, I'm not reading up on no freaking astrology. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to be in the dark.
Yes. So she's doing this in a pattern with the sun. It's like a...
almost like a pendulum.
Well, yeah, but yeah, or like an epicycle.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
That's it.
Like an epicycle.
Yeah.
So she's also doing the same thing as the sun every day, but it's variable speed. That she's just doing that. So as the sun's cruising along this way,
yeah,
and as you said, this is 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah. Give or take. Yeah.
So Venus is outside here.
Did he just say the Earth revolves around the sun at 1,000 miles an hour? Did I hear that right? I don't know. It's really hard to stay focused, man.
Yeah, not in this part of the vortex. She's in a second nested.
Okay, this is gonna take some while because they're still trying to figure it out. So let's skip ahead a little bit. Let's see if he draws some more on his little fancy dry erase board. Look at that face. I love it. Okay, now come on, get back to the dry erase board. We don't got all night. Ooh, there we go. Is that... Oh, I think someone got disconnected. Okay, let's see right here.
The same diameter or circumference as the sun. So...
Oh, okay, hold on. We got to see that.
That same reputation as well.
So this, what we see here is the sun. That's an electrical effect, yeah, it has to be.
Oh, jeez. Hold on, guys. We missed something good. That's probably why Babyface's face is lighting up. Sad baby face, happy baby face. So we missed something crucial right there. Let's find out what it was.
People saw something like that going past the sun, and as soon as it got in the center, it created the eclipse.
Yeah. Of course.
So the sun is a source projection.
Okay.
Source objective projection, right? So
a source objective projection. Someone could explain that to me. That would be great. Oh man. A source.
The center of the sun is probably just like a really, well, it'd have to be
what?
Much smaller than the body that we see. We could.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So I think they're all about that size, right? And then this expanded disc that we see glowing and that has its limit. See, like the sun for me is like a condensed rainbow. Right? It's what causes the rainbow. The sun is made up of white light, which is.
Can I get some face palms in the chat, please?
Incoherent white light, and the 7 refracted colors of the white light of the sun, which are the electromagnetic spectrum, Snow White, and the 7 dwarves, light of the sun.
Did he say 7 dwarves? Hold on.
Which are the electromagnetic spectrum,
okay,
Snow White, and the 7 dwarves, So that's just like a coiled. Well, they say it's a serpent, it's Quetzalcoatl, the rainbow serpent, according to the Aboriginals. Well, that's the rainbow, isn't it? But it's condensed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
is like being like going to some like a party and everyone's drunk and stoned and you are the only person sober and you have to be at work in the morning.
what we see here is the sun. That's an electrical effect. Yeah, it has to be.
Absolutely.
You putting the moon in the same as the same thing as well, like a projection.
Oh, so there's actually 3 people here. So I wonder who this guy is. And this is what makes it legitimate. You know, you came to the PoE channel thinking, hey, the cosmic egg is going to get peer reviewed. You had no idea there was actually going to be 2 people reviewing this. All right, it's going to get batshit crazy up in here.
You were saying the moon pretty much has that same reputation as well. So, you know, you're not actually, what you're seeing is not actually what is actually there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's the same with the moon, because the moon is the same diameter or circumference as the sun. So possibly Venus.
Come on, you can do it.
If we saw her in the same context as we see the sun, it would probably appear like this as well. So you're saying, obviously, the reason why those planets are like stars, wandering stars,
Yeah.
is because they all belong to the other 3 concentric nested torus fields that make up this big Anu, which is actually what the word is.
Oh boy. I hung on to every word trying to figure that out, and
torus field, the original.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So and of course this has got Uranus.
Yeah.
He said Uranus. Wow. Hopefully Babyface will learn that. I mean, this looks like his mentor here. We'll see. I don't think so.
Of course, yes.
All right. Yep. And Uranus is the firmament. We know that.
Yep.
Uranus had a son, and his name was Kronos.
Yes.
Kronos castrated his father Uranus.
Uh-huh.
Right? Well, Kronos is temp.
Yep.
Time.
Yep.
So let's just call him what he is. Time.
Uh-huh.
Right? And then
I thought Saturn's time, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't Saturn Kronos?
Time beget some children that he swallowed.
Uh-huh.
Because that's what time does. Time begets children and then they die and you get swallowed up.
Yeah.
Back out of the time matrix again. Well, then that's the son of Saturn is Jupiter, or son of Kronos in the Greek is Zeus. So that would be space, because good old Jupiter in astrology is what? Expansion, expansiveness.
Uh-huh.
So you got time. So that is the Trinity, and
that's the Trinity. Uranus, space, time. That's the Trinity. No, dude. Come on, man. You can't base your model on freaking mythology, and you can't even get the freaking mythology right. Come on, man. Jesus.
Uranus, Anu, is this magnetic vortex. Vortex. I was going to say firmament, but
it doesn't matter what you say. Vortex, firmament, whatever. You can't even get the freaking Roman Greek mythology correct, dude. Come on, Jesus.
It's firmament is not as general as I would call it. Generally, it's an Anu. Multi-dimensional.
Oh, it's multi-dimensional now.
Magnetic torus body.
It's like they find these words like a Scientific American crossword puzzle, and they're like, "Oh, that's a good word. I'm gonna look it up." I'm not even gonna look it up. I'm just gonna throw it in the mix, man. It's just like a big old bowl of nuts. It just doesn't even freaking matter, man. Just take out whatever you want, throw it in there. You know, what are this guy's credentials anyway? He's a all I know is he's an astrologer and obviously a flat earther. Not a good combo. Not a good combo.
Why I say multi-dimensional is because, well, there you've just described 4 dimensions, haven't you? Each torus is a dimension.
Yeah.
So you'd be suggesting that Venus and Mars in that 3rd torus field, that'd be they are in another dimension. In fact, they are. Yeah. That's what Ptolemy says. That
tell us what Ptolemy said, please do.
They are spiritual bodies and entirely luminous and conscious beings.
It's a good thing we haven't debunked Ptolemy yet. His whole model will be out the window, huh? Oh, wait. No, I think we did. Sorry. You know, all this mythology, I'm getting it all mixed up, man. I need to be able to keep my math and my science separate, or my mythology and science separate. All right, let's go on. Let's see what we got here. Oh, he's writing some stuff up there. Does it say Joseph? Seth? Okay, now he can't even get the biblical mythology right. Oh, this says great bread cereals.
Our mother who art great, who is great in heaven, she's also the bread.
Uh-huh.
The cereals. Rhea, bread. Because time and space, and area, tempo and area.
Yeah.
See, Jupiter fills the same boots as Rhea because Jupiter is a dimension.
Yeah.
Jupiter's a dimension.
It always works like that because what happens now?
He does always.
This is Grandpa. This is Daddy, and this is the Sun, and now Jesus becomes, the God of gods and the Savior of men in Christianity.
Jesus.
But in Greek, he's the God of gods, right? Well, because he defeats time. He castrated his daddy because this guy castrated his daddy, right? So how does Jupiter do that? Well, he thwarts that power out of... He was the one that thwarted being swallowed by Kronos.
That is amazing, Santos, because when I was doing the whole solar ascension thing on my model, I put Saturn as the portal in for souls. When souls are descending into the cycle of life, the first place you come into is Saturn, like we're saying, Father Time. That's when time starts. And I said on this side, feminine energies, these are the portals out. So souls ascending upwards, they go through the moon, then through Venus, then through Jupiter. Jupiter's the last one in the 4th dimension before you enter the heavens. So defeating time. Jupiter, you're defeating time. You're now leaving time. And that's where that mythology comes in. When you get into Saturn, you're now in time. You're coming into time. When you're leaving Jupiter and ascending upwards, you're now defeating time. You're back into timeless form.
Yeah, I don't know what he means about defeating time. He's really excited about it, though. He's really stoked. Let me see here. Let's, okay, we got like about 20 minutes, so we're gonna kind of skip ahead here. Oh, look at that. You're right. You are right. He needs a beard. He really needs a beard because he would look so much smarter. Because, it doesn't look, it's not the same effect when you're thinking and you're just grabbing your chin fat. It doesn't have the same effect as a nice bushy beard.
Peter, you must understand this. There's this motif of Peter.
Well, He has a beard and he doesn't look any smarter, so maybe it's not the same effect. Maybe you need beard and glasses.
Peter and Paul, and Mary. Peter, Paul, and Mary. But
Uh-huh.
the Peter and Paul is Jupiter and Saturn because
why? Think
because
of it.
of this trinity. Okay, this is
Look at him rub his chin fat.
this is the beginning of everything, the origin of all things, the heavens. Uranus means heaven.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, this is our spiritual
I don't
daddy.
think so.
And then time is born of Uranus.
No.
And so time castrates no time, essentially, or
What?
the forever now. So time is now wanting to have 3 tenses instead of 1 tense. All right. So that's the principle of time. And then because time swallows everything up, in order for things to exist without being swallowed up the instant they are born, you need the principle of Jupiter. So Jupiter is a principle. It's a universal principle.
Wow. I think I must have dozed off in astronomy class for that. I don't recall that. I don't know. I don't recall it in physics either. I think he's onto some serious sacred knowledge, some serious sacred hidden knowledge, because I've never heard any of this.
Okay.
Just the
Yeah.
It's the
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at Babyface. He is,
the principle of spaciousness, volume. And that's why he's associated with Vulcan. Volcanoes produce volume because they are magnetic. Magnetism is totally responsible.
And what is this guy's deal with castration? And I'm pretty sure he said time castrates time, which, Jesus Christ, this guy is a freaking Looney Tune.
For what we call space, volume. So Jupiter is volcan, volume, and he is space as...
Because Jupiter is volume. Oh, wow. And I love how they mix all these words from different languages, like different root words from different languages, and they're just like, it means the same. It's like, who was it that the Italian astronomer that called the trenches on Mars canales, and who was it that, it's on the tip of my tongue. Okay, I can't think of it. But then an American astronomer interpreted it as canals, and he just ran with it, saying, hey man, these are canals, and not the same word.
So is Rhea. You have to look at the roots of the words, and you've got to know the archetypes. It's always these two twins or trinities. It's always tightly connected to a trinity or a duality, twins. Okay. So so one is a malefic, Saturn, greater malefic, because time, we have to defeat time, man. We've got to go into the eternal forever now, rather than being lost in the past and anxious about the future.
Yeah.
And never settled in the now. Why don't we just eliminate all that regret of the past, anxiety for the future, and discombobulation of not knowing who we are, why we are, where we are, ever in the now. We can get rid of all of that by reabsorbing these principles of time and space, because, see, this, all of this is frequency, yeah? Frequency is time. It's all vibration, yeah?
Yep.
And frequency. So you've got a sine wave.
All right.
And so here you've got space, wave amplitude, and here you've got, time.
Okay. This is the first thing he's gotten right all hour. Right there. So let's see how he screws this up. This is the one thing he actually got right. Space and time for a frequency. So let's see how he really screws this up.
Wavelength. This is vibration and frequency, you see. So time, Saturn's marking time, and Jupiter is making space for the time to manifest in. So they are father and son. They castrate each other. It's just like Cain kills Abel. Isaac tries to kill Esau. They're not killing each other literally, because it's not. It's talking about this. One brother has to kill the other brother. You know, positive must kill negative, otherwise it can't go back to be positive again. And they're changing natures, flipping over. Radharani and Krishna, you know, Mary and Jesus, and it's all basically just the yin and the yang. And you've got source light and force light. And so, I forget the point I was making, but anyway.
Yeah, he forgot the point he was making. That was like a freaking 2-minute presentation, and he forgot.
I think I finished what I wanted
Classic.
to say. So that principle, that is the principle. So having Saturn and Jupiter on the outside ring makes a lot of sense, because Saturn is the beginning of all things. All things begin in Saturn. But then they say all things begin in Jupiter, because Jupiter is air. Well, air is hot and moist.
Yeah.
And
Jupiter's hot and moist.
Hot and moist are the two benefic humors of Jupiter. So, whereas Saturn is cold and dry, so time, it's cold and dry, man. There's
No, pretty sure, if anything, Saturn would be more moist and just as hot as Jupiter. Well, maybe not as hot, but it's definitely not dry.
no doubt about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ice is hot and moist, and those are the humors of Saturn, the greater malefic. Whatever is dry and cold cannot grow. Plants can't grow in the dryness if they're dry, nor if they are cold. They need Jupiter, which is the two good humors, which are heat and moisture.
Okay, heat and moisture are the good humors. Actually, I'm wrong. I think Jupiter has more water in its atmosphere than Saturn. And it doesn't matter. Like, he knows that. He doesn't know that crap. So, what the hell? And I like the one thing they gets right in the whole hour, you know, the space and the time right there for representing frequency. He forgets what he was going to say. There wasn't enough woo in his argument, so he got lost.
Right? So, and that, you see how heat creates expansion, whereas coldness contracts.
So is that
Look how excited he is. It's so funny.
also reminiscent of the toroidal fields breathing in and out, creating the ages? So when the torus fields are outwards, that is the expansion, is it, as you're saying? And then when they come back in, and we're in the dark age of consciousness, this is when Saturn is ruling, cold and dry time.
Oh my God.
So during the golden ages, Jupiter is king. Jupiter is the one ruling the energy. And during the darker ages of consciousness, when all the toroidal fields have closed everything in, this is when Saturn is ruling.
He's like waiting for their approval. He's like, I made a complete sentence. Did I do good?
Yeah. Saturn.
Oh yeah, totally, absolutely.
Saturn is the contracting in breath.
Yep.
And Jupiter is the expanding out breath. And the torus field is always doing this. Hence you have the tides of the ocean. You have the earth heaving and then resting and heaving. The earth is always... I learnt this when I was selling a house, new home salesman. I did that for 4 years.
He was a new home salesman. And
you had to go out and do testing the ground, the soil, the quality of the soil. Was it A soil? Was it B? And all different grades of soil to build on. So the builder knew how much to put in the foundations. Yeah. And But I learnt about this heaving. You see,
Yeah,
certain soils heave a lot in the summer and in the.
Okay, I don't want to hear about his real estate career. Yeah, Shane, I'm not too familiar with the Bible, just like on a kind of a superficial level. That's like not really my thing.
Jupiter is on her way to taking over from Saturn, basically.
Yep.
That's a good way to put it, right?
Well, Jupiter's never going to defeat Saturn or vice versa.
Yeah, they work in tandem, obviously, breathing in and out, like you're saying.
Yep.
What is their fixation with this pulsing toroidal field? I don't understand. I don't get what their deal is with this. Jesus Christ, this needs to go. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Let's see what he says.
But now the breath is going outward, isn't it? Whereas we were breathing inward consciously, we're now breathing outward consciously. We're now expanding, heading.
Same crap. Let's see if he draws some more. Oh boy. Let's see what this is about. Uh-oh, look at that. He is thinking.
The green one's in here.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, all these green ones. So
what the hell is that?
there's Libra. Right there where I have my Libra.
That looks blurry as hell to me too, so it's just not it's the original video.
Always Virgo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries. Now, they've got all of these deacons, 36 deacons. So I'm going to do a presentation on this showing that this was around for thousands and thousands of years, and all these signs are exactly the same as the modern ones today. No difference at all. Not a bit of difference. The only discrepancy is a couple of the deacons of Libra. I can't seem to find them on the Dendera stone, but all the rest, they're all there, all right, intact.
What the hell are you talking about?
This absolutely smashes these guys who say that the Greeks added Libra 2,000 years ago. Well, this is more than 5,000 years old, and there's Libra, you know, and certain deacons and certain things were added. Well, this is the oldest, and it's the same. It's exactly the same as the Ptolemy system.
Ptolemy's important, especially in modern astronomy. I mean, he is the go-to guy.
Ptolemy actually gives us a list of the 48 constellations, the 36 extra zodiacal.
Dude, there's more than 24 constellations.
Deacons, and the 12 zodiacal. Now, I forget why I pulled this out.
I forgot why I pulled this out. He's like a little kid. Hey, come to my room. Let me show you my toys.
I was going to say something. Can you bring me back to the subject? Why did I come to this?
Saturn and Jupiter, we were explaining the ages. We were saying that Jupiter was expansive, of course, and Saturn was restricting. But I must say, Martin, the restriction is also sometimes needed in the sense of how you understand Saturn in a sense, because as I said, he gets a lot of bad vision, and of course, everyone, you know, the Satan thing and everything else, blah, blah, blah. But he is also a needed and can also be a gift in many ways if you actually understand sometimes what these planets are representing.
Yeah.
Wow. Either that was a whole lot of knowledge or a whole lot of nonsense. Whatever it was, I didn't understand a word.
And that's that trinity there that Sandals was pointing out, just the Jupiter and the Saturn, the two planets together. Man, that's like the mother lode of all astrotheology. That those two together, they really do sing in so many areas.
When you understand that, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter. Now I remember why I pulled this out.
Now it remembers. It all comes back to him.
At the bottom here, at the Tropic of Cancer, Saturn rules in winter. He rules Capricorn and Aquarius.
Okay.
So he's always down the bottom, down in hell, where Satan is supposed to be, always here, ruling these 60 degrees of the ecliptic. From the Tropic of Capricorn all the way.
Okay, he's just going to talk about this nonsense. Okay, yeah, we'll hit that video here. Charlie seemed like a good guy. We'll get you. There you go, Charlie. You can repost the link properly. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that video. That has to be more interesting than this. Okay, come on, get back to the dry erase board. Oh, that's the end. Okay, let's see what the last couple minutes were.
Sign. So when you get to know all this, I mean, I've got so much information that I'm going to take out of this, showing that what they're describing here is the 48 constellations. They are the 48 organs in your body.
Whoa. Wow. 48 organs in your body. I think he just blew my mind. Again, I didn't think it was going to happen. Now, is he counting the skin as an organ? I would like to know this. I would really like to know this.
Okay. Aries is the cerebrum, right? Leo is the heart. So they're describing, explaining, and modeling field mechanics. It's torus field energy. They're describing it. They're modeling how it works. And they're telling you where all the positions of the 36 deacons are indicating what archetypal archetypal energies are found as the vortex.
I want to hear the 48 organs. I mean, that seems really low, at least half the actual, half the actual amount. So, okay, so he's not considering the brain because he obviously doesn't have one. Doesn't have eyes either because, I don't know, because he can't read. Only 48 organs. Maybe flat earthers, maybe that is. It's like an organic disorder. You know, they're missing half the organs in their body. That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
It does its cycles. And so in every wave and in every field, when energy is traveling through the field, it does this. This is what the Egyptians are telling us here. They didn't make the ecliptic and the constellations, and they didn't design any of this. This is how things work. This is like a blueprint of things that how energy actually works.
We like blueprints.
Original quantum mechanics, yeah.
Yeah, right. Not even close, buddy. Not even close.
Yeah, it's the only way to model, because what you're doing, see, with your model, you've got 4 nested torus fields. Well, have a look at an atom. Don't they have different rows of electrons? You've got the first one, the shell. Yeah, how many shells do they have?
Come on, tell me. Come on, you know.
10 or...
Oh, yeah?
They have about 4 shells, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Only 4? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you see, they tell you...
Only 4 shells, guys.
That an atom, right?
All right. Now, will he draw a uranium atom? That would be pretty awesome. Heck, I'd be happy for lead.
So carbon.
It's just about to cut off. We're running out of time. About 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Might have to reloop.
Good. Thank God.
It's up to you.
Thank God.
Do we need to keep going?
No. No.
No, can we schedule another time? Because I've got to work in 15 minutes.
Yes. Yeah.
He has to work in the brain factory. Oh, he didn't get anything wrong there. Okay, so we have, is there, okay.